You gotta run back the whole thing. Do it live.
Want you to know just how I'm feeling, though I never wanted you another way. But baby, it's been on my mind, and you know my face can't hide it. So take my hand and hear me when I say, don't you know that I'll be there for you, with a love to get you through the night, yeah. And I'll be there for you when everything is out of sight. You got it, baby. One more time, you got to get it right and walk it by this life for you. And honey, if you're diving, I'ma get you by, but you're already live.
The beginning of the show is a comedy of errors. Let's see. The second thing that happened, not the first, the second thing that happened was I played the intro, not actually going live, but just forced me and Stu to listen to the intro.
Which I have to say, I love the intro. It's my first time hearing it. There has never been a more tonal shift than from that to this. The I guess the feeling, the tempo, the funkiness of it is completely incongruous as to what's about to happen for the next 50 minutes or so minutes.
That song's kind of a banger, right?
It's really good. No, it's really good. Like the logo, the aesthetic, everything, it all just works. It works, but not for this.
Bro, listen, for everybody that doesn't know, you should do yourself a favor and go over to YouTube, Spotify, whatever, and check out Moss Donkey. I'm actually going to be having Kevin on the podcast a little later, maybe next month. But anyways, yeah. So anyways, I play that wrong. So Stu and I actually listened to it twice. And here we are doing our thing now. And we actually led into this portion of the podcast. So
I appreciate your transparency. Frankly, it's refreshing. Because how many people are going to try to get the white out? They're going to backspace. They're going to dust under the rug the mistakes, the bumps, the warts. No, you're going to put it up there up front, which I'm here for it. I'm ready to get the magnifying glass out.
This is what I've been running. This is the premise I've been running on for 3 years. So anyways, we use I stream with StreamYard, and so I can have multiple people in the green room or whatever. And what'll happen is there's the main picture, and then there'll be smaller shots of the people on their cameras. And my thought was that if somebody was in the green room, they could not see the person on stage.
And yeah, you said the main picture, but the main picture is, of course, on stage, right? Go ahead. No, I'm interested in where we're going here. So it's just, you're kind of catching me up too. So
now listen, here's the deal. And you can think this is dumb of me, but there's sometimes where I sit down behind the camera and I'm wearing something, and I feel like because my background is white, like certain things don't look right. So I had one shirt on, and I'm like, let me see what my red shirt looks like on this with this hat.
Wait, so I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
That's what you were doing, is you wanted to see how you looked in the red shirt. That
100%.
That caused the impromptu. Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's true.
All right, no,
because I would have put the black shirt back on if I put.
And what were the conditions for the black shirt going back on?
I would sit down and look, and then I would decide.
We kind of jumped ahead a little bit, so go ahead.
No, the thing is I take my shirt off, and Stu can also. We won't gloss over Stu. We can touch on.
We don't have to get into the gory details.
These are human. These are human. This is human interest, first of all.
It is a human
is
interest
it is a
story. I
human
think that
interest
this will
story.
allow you're human like everybody else.
I
Adam
am.
makes beer is human like
Yes.
everybody else with a man's body. Um,
So, anyways, needless to say, I'm standing half in camera, and I take my shirt off, and then I'm looking at the screen as I do it, and I see Stu is in the green room, and so then I have the thought, oh, I wonder if he can see me. Oh, he's probably in the green room. He can't see me, and then I think I see you smiling in the small little picture at the bottom. And then so I quickly got the red shirt on and then threw the headphones on, and you were smiling or laughing because.
And I was laughing. And I didn't want to laugh too much in case you could hear me, because I also didn't want you to know I could see you, because it was very funny what was
And then what did you see? What did you see happen when I changed the shirt?
I'll
say it if you
I
don't.
saw a middle-aged man's torso. It was a man's torso.
Yep.
A father, a husband, you know. It wasn't an athlete, but that's okay. I wasn't expecting.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was totally normal. It's the human body. It's fine.
Yep. And then what else?
I don't know. There's still a part of me. I've always felt very protective of you. And this goes back 30 years. And I know, and it is because you have a way to put yourself in a lot of people's crosshairs that I have always felt like if he can't handle a situation he's in, I've always got his back. I will be defensive. I will chop block the guy who's coming after him, like that. I always felt like that was kind of the unspoken rule. You did do something on camera that, I don't know, you kind of gave yourself a little bit of a, I'm trying to think of the most polite way to phrase it. Man. Yeah, no, it was just it was a freshness check, right?
Did I smell my armpits, or did I smell the armpits of my shirt?
You smelled the armpits of the shirt. Now, if you'd smelled your armpits, that would have been funnier, but it's I don't know why I'm jumping on a grenade for you right now, but it's like, you go to get a glass of milk, you're gonna like give it a quick, is this all right or not? Am I good?
I feel like it's one of my things. So hey, Sunset Brewing over on Instagram, good to see you here from Saskatchewan. Moose Jaw's in the house. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. And so we had cooler weather, and then we went back to warmer weather, man. And I don't know what people's expectations of Cincinnati are, but baby, it gets hot down here. And I don't feel like I tend to think in general I'm a pretty hygienic guy. Sometimes I feel like I can't keep up on my armpits, and maybe that's just like a personal phobia thing for me that's developed.
It's kind of a war of attrition on your armpits there,
bro. I scrub them well, and I deodorize appropriately. But I mean, you saw, and I mean, you've seen the real me for a while, Stu. So you saw a portion of the curtain pulled back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is, it's whatever. But I guess now we understand StreamYard a little bit better. We'll know that when you're on stage for the whole world. Or at least everybody who's
in there,
who's silly enough to sit in here and do this, in the middle of the week for,
Well, hey everybody, this is the it's Small Town Guys. It's episode 2 or 3, depending on how you want to count. Based
already
on
lost track of that, so I don't.
We had
fun.
episode 0 was the first one because we felt like that was most appropriate. But here we are. This is the second time we're jumping on while there's football on. We've got Tampa, Texas. Quite frankly, I don't care. There are some guys on Tampa that I'm interested in seeing how they perform. Beyond that, I don't care. Do you know why I don't care, Stuart?
Why do you not care?
Well, first of all, we're both winning our fantasy games this year in our league. Correct?
I think yes. I think that
Yeah,
I
and
have some interest from the team I'm playing against.
okay. But more importantly than that, our Lions got off
Yeah.
the schneid. Whatever that means.
I've never been very comfortable with that phrase before. I don't know what that means.
I didn't know. I thought you were going to say that you weren't comfortable being on the schneid.
No, I wouldn't be comfortable on the schneid. I'm not comfortable off the schneid. I'm not comfortable being in the same room as the schneid because I don't know who or what the schneid is. I always assume that it's something offensive or
Sure.
inappropriate things that because if it's a throwback phrase like that, they're able to get away with a lot more back then. Get away with, like like we want to get away with something, but no, it's just
okay. Schneid, a noun derived from German for tailor and is used in the U.S. as a slang term for a losing streak, particularly in sports and card games like gin rummy. I like that it gave me like gin rummy. The term is most famously used in the phrase on the schneid to describe being in a losing streak or off the schneid to mean ending one. So off the schneid is good.
Okay.
Is that the same thing with the wagon?
I think it's got to be similar to the wagon.
I could never keep it straight. Where your proximity to the wagon, how proximity to the wagon impacted your relationship with booze.
Right. Yeah.
I keep one side right or the other.
Yeah. No, I think I have the kicker in Tampa Bay kicker. I think that's my only interest in this one. The later game, I've got much more that will kind of determine the outcome of our good old boy.
I'm not sure I'm crazy about the double Monday Night Football game.
I think it's too much. I kind of like I like the Thursday games now that it's kind of a regular thing. Saturday games are always fun once we get into that part of the year, but double Monday seems like a lot.
Starting at 10 is a lot, or the second game starts at 10 p.m., which is, I know there's some West Coasters out there. I mean, we've got people from Saskatchewan, for goodness sakes. Also, I don't know whether that's on the east side or west side of Canada.
West side? Now, in 1 week, or 1 week from right now, where are we going to be?
Well, my friends, Stu, sometimes as podcasters, sometimes people say that we live the life. You know what I mean? Opportunity just drops in our laps. It's in the middle. So time zone wise, you might be an hour behind us, sunset. But yeah, things just happen for us. You know what I mean? On top of, people just pouring sponsorship money on
sponsorships, product access to products, early access to technologies, things that are, they're really kind of interested in like what our unique take on is going to be. And knowing that we're able to influence decision-making process, not only for ourselves and all of the people that are the watchers, the listeners, all of those things. It's quite only 3 episodes in too. 2 2 quarters. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it's highly unusual. It's highly unusual, and
unusual.
But things things just fall in our lap sometimes. Sometimes the lucky stay lucky, and we're going to be going to Baltimore, beautiful Baltimore, Maryland.
Beautiful, bucolic Baltimore, Maryland.
What is bucolic?
I don't know.
This is just going to become a thesaurus show.
I know. Relating to the pleasant aspects of the countryside and country life. So probably not quite as bucolic as.
That's great.
There was an alliterative quality to it that I felt pretty strongly
I loved it.
about.
I wasn't going to fight you on it. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be traveling out to the Monday Night Football game, ladies and gents. Our beloved Detroit Lions, off the schneid,
Off the
on
schneid.
the schneid. Wait, no, either
Off the
one.
schneid.
They brought it to the cursed Chicago Bears and their supposed coach Ben Johnson. Stu, how do you feel about the whole Ben Johnson thing? Are you like somebody who it's like, oh hey, we need to let's support this guy as he goes to Chicago, or would you have been one of those people chanting what they were chanting in Ford Field?
No, I'm kind of in the middle on that. There having lived in Chicago and having dealt with that rivalry. Is it a rivalry? Is that even our number one rivalry with the
No, I mean
Lions?
it's a division. It's a division rival.
Yeah,
So, I mean it
but
counts. I mean I think there's bigger ones. Yeah, but
it can't.
it's
I
definitely a
mean,
rivalry.
but see the dislike for Chicago goes back 30 some years. Enemy of the show, Michael Jordan and his Chicago Bulls. You know, formulated a lot of this for with us at a very formative age.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so no, definitely was not a fan of him leaving, was not a fan. I would have preferred him to stay, obviously. Was not a fan of how he left, how he announced that he left before the last game of the season.
Yes.
So was not really, but I'm not going to say that I didn't have like panic texts with you during this week where you exercised caution and forbearance. So in that you're right, but I would not say I am so superstitious that I don't like to be a bad winner or a good loser, or maybe no, I'd prefer to be a good loser than a bad winner. So I think that they will probably find some success and figure things out in Chicago. You kind of want everybody to do okay, but my official line is F the Bear. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Emeka Ibuka just scored another touchdown. That's 3 touchdowns in 2 games in the young season. The rookie from Ohio State.
Pump seeing Nick Chubb with a start.
Nick Chubb, dude. Nick Chubb is well. He's clearly breakable, but he comes back. Is that what unbreakable is? Is unbreakable means you can break but come back? No, unbreakable is you never break. So he's not unbreakable.
No, he's breakable.
He'll actually have horrible injuries, and then next thing you know, he's squatting 600 pounds again for reps.
Doesn't he have a kid who's in? I could be thinking of somebody else.
I don't know. Frank Gore. Frank Gore has a kid.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Frank Gore and Nick Chubb kind of fit a similar running back, archetype in my head.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Frank Gore a lot. All right, sorry.
Yeah, so we are going to be rolling out to beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, and our dear friend Jim is hooking us up, and I'm going to be taking my son out, and the 4 of us are going to be going to the Monday Night Lions game out there. But before Detroit winning this past weekend, I was both excited about and dreading that football game, because no matter what happens, I'm going to be excited to get there.
Yeah.
But I also feel like now I have the added, I'm trying to be more mature about it and more of an adult, but I hate seeing my son's heart broken over this stuff, and it breaks over the Lions. It breaks over the Lions. I mean, he's a young man, you know what I mean? So it would be nice. It would be nice to get a W out of that game. Obviously, because I'm a fan of the team, but also because the boy would be on cloud 9.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, and I mean, those are the 2 highest scorers so far this week. So it should be fun if both offenses can kind of cut loose. You know, exciting game. Like I'm not gonna be crushed. I try to set myself up mentally to be able to handle it. So, but
Are you going to be wearing Detroit gear?
Well, that was kind of a point of conversation. I don't know if you've got your fit decided yet. You know, like, have you figured out like kind of you want the coldest fit possible for this.
Keep talking. I can show you what I have.
All right, that's good.
I'm not actually going to. You can see that this has some wear on it.
Oh, you got a Megatron jersey?
Yeah, I have a Megatron jersey from like literally, obviously, when he was playing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have this. My son has. My folks got him an Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey, and maybe this will just go draped behind the chair behind me. But yeah, so that's what I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Jim and the Twins did not think that we were going to get killed for wearing the opposing team's.
It's not like we're going to Philly.
Sure. That's literally what somebody told me because I was trying to get some feedback on this thing, and I've heard it's not like you're going to Philly more than once. So that's a pretty well agreed upon take. So yeah,
I've got the black alternate.
Okay, nice
jersey.
Nice. Isaac's is the black alternate as well. Yeah. That's
he'll be
cool
my
one.
kid that night. That's fine.
He'll be my kid.
You need a hot dog?
We will be live streaming from the game. Small Town Boys at Monday Night Football. That is not true.
No, that's not true.
But yeah, that's gonna be a good time. This is gonna be Isaac's first. Hey, listen, Twisted Grands, there's nothing wrong with Philly. One, because I don't want to have batteries thrown at me.
Yeah.
Or like I'm Santa Claus in the parade or whatever. Nothing wrong with Philly, man. I wanted Philly to win the Super Bowl last year, man.
It's just Philly sports fans.
Sometimes Philly sports fans.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to walk this line. They know. Listen, know.
First of all, I love it. I love crazy fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't always want to be next to them.
Right.
But I love knowing they're out there. They need to exist.
Right. Yeah. Somebody has to set cars on fire. Right.
I think that happens in Michigan, though. Just was it, or is that Ohio State where they burn cars? They burn cars in different places.
Wherever they get really excited about winning. Or losing.
Stu, I want to show you something. Okay, so I'm going to have you weigh in on this, and there's some different things that we can do aesthetically with the stream.
Say that word again one more time.
Aesthetically?
I don't know if that's coming through clear enough for me.
It's not the right word?
You're so close. You're like 98% of the way there.
Do you want me to say aesthetic?
Aesthetically.
What was I saying? Aesthetically? I was saying aesthetically.
Aesthetically. No.
Well, hey, listen.
Why did I correct you? It's funnier if I don't.
Okay. Now this is a standard background from StreamYard. Okay. Another one. Blue Ocean.
Ooh, Blue Ocean.
More options.
We're gonna Blue Ocean this thing?
It is Blue Ocean, by the way, not blue water. Jared made sure that I knew. But then there's
I'll drag you out to deep water.
Small town country. But this one you can't quite feel. This one almost feels like more Halloween. How do you feel about this one?
This is very spooky. For the we'll save this one for the Halloween episode.
You think this one's spooky? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what about this? What does this do?
Not feeling that. No, this is a Windows 98 startup screen.
I feel like if now that I'm looking at it live, I feel like someplace in proximity something's getting milked.
The irony here is the premise. The irony of the premise here is that neither one of us is anything remotely resembling like a country boy.
We're from a small town, though.
We're from small towns, But we're not country boys. We're not
No, we're not. We're small town guys.
Yeah, we're not hunting
Okay.
and fishing and
So,
all of those good things that are nice, you know.
So let me try this one out on you. And this is the one, I'm not saying anything. Boom. The fair.
Okay, so it's the fair. Is that like an elephant ear or something? I can't.
It's
see
a funnel cake, but yes.
Funnel cake.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Funnel cake, county fair thing in the background.
Yep.
I don't know. This is what I have for you.
Yeah. I thought the first one looked the best.
The one that's just this.
It's
this one, this is what you like the most.
Well,
you can say yes.
There wasn't one where there actually was milking cows. Maybe we can keep working on these.
That's
we'll
the thing.
Find one.
So listen, yeah, this is the thing. I want more background options, and this is just a couple things that I grabbed last minute because we're establishing the vibe. You know what I mean?
I think we're establishing the vibe, and so far the vibe hasn't been super off. It's been super confusing. We started out with the funk, you know, and then we jumped into your story about the funk, and then. So I think we're still kind of it's established. You know, all good teams take a while to gel to establish their identity.
Sure.
And,
like any good offensive line.
I mean, are there backgrounds for like, you know, we go mudding with on 2 tracks and our 4x4s?
I'll say this though, dude. Do you know what? Well, you know I went camping, but you don't know that I went out and me and the man Ken probably pulled about 25 bass into our boat on Saturday.
Really?
We had a great time, man.
Crap.
He got what
awesome.
we actually like a whole bunch of like 10, 12-inch bass or whatever, but they fight great. We had a blast. I mean, he's like the super like experienced like outdoors.
Is he baiting your hook for you and then getting the fish off the line when you pull it in?
His instincts tell him yes. It keeps wiggling. But his instincts tell him yes. And he does coach me while I fish. And then he always tells himself, but you know what you're doing, even though he knows I really, really don't.
I didn't know you were going to be fishing.
No, we went out and we had a blast. He caught like a 19-inch bass. Pretty much everything else was like in the smaller range. But we had a lot of fun. There was one time where one of the bass that I caught got hooked up really gnarly and stuff, and he had to take it out for me. And when he put it back in the water, when he does things, it even feels parental. As he was letting it back in the water, he goes, I don't know if this guy's gonna make it. Yeah. and like I felt bad about it, but
what do you mean?
I felt bad about it, but also comforted that he was there to help with the situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I did work up some of my small town cred this weekend with a pretty solid camping trip. The weather up there was great. I was actually hoping for a little bit cooler because sometimes the big old fire and the cold air is nice.
And you get the double effect of your face drinking out of your other face. It's good to kind of like, you know, punctuate an empty-headed, profound statement with a direct eye contact to the camera and an absolutely absurd sort of like set of actions.
I don't know how much. Yeah, you really can see. It's almost as big as my face if I work it right.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but yeah, I was up doing that, working on my small town crap. But I do want to work on some picture stuff still. So I still think we need work on the logo that's up on Instagram. Listen, we have spiked up to 11 followers on the Small Town Guys Instagram page. Okay. And what I'm doing, what I'm doing is this is one of those Instagram pages where the account essentially follows no one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the people just come to you. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh man.
No engagement. Like no. Like somebody's like, hey, I found this a really weird account, and I think like it's for a podcast or something. I can't really tell. None of it really like has a theme or makes any sense.
I don't want to be burning good ideas, but a buddy of mine, Josh, that used to be brewing over at Cartridge with me. He's a very straight-laced guy, very nice, very funny, like a very good person. He's really awesome. But he told us one day in the brewery,
I get it. He's awesome.
Well, he drinks full glasses of milk, and sometimes multiple full glasses of milk. And Maggie, the only other person in the brewery other than myself, decided that was something that absolutely shouldn't be done. So me picking up on where she was going with it, we started to make it into a huge deal. Okay.
Right.
And saying that it's unacceptable for somebody that is not a child to be drinking 2 glasses of milk in a row.
Right.
Maggie was really leaning in on it. And then I started thinking, Josh is like super, like he's not into like social media or anything like that. And I told him I wanted him to create an Instagram handle called Milky Boys. And all that would be is there's a large glass of milk, like in the center of the camera, off to the side, and that's the only thing that's focused on. Like everything in the background is fuzzy, and then he just walks up, sits down next to it so you can kind of see the fuzziness, and he just sits there and drinks the entire thing and then just puts it down. And however many glasses of milk he drinks, and then that's the end of the video at me at Milky Boys.
Sure.
And he did not want to do that, first of all, which I thought was ridiculous.
I think you particularly have a way of pitching ideas that most people, I think, are revolted by. Even if there is nothing inherently revolting about the idea, you have a way of pitching it in a way that makes it seem fiendish.
Hey, listen, Milky Boys is getting some love from Dale N in the chat. He says, "Got milk? I'm in."
Yeah.
So,
Maybe Dale. Known but see, the thing is, Dale's a known dairy lover. He's a known dairy lover. He had stickers on his hat like back in the day that I think it said, "I like cheese," if I'm not mistaken. 30 years ago.
That was also before like the ironic sticker and ironic pins were a thing.
No, it was 100%
you know what I mean?
true though. You know, so it was
he was trailblazing, and it was true.
People are getting canceled now for dairy, for their dairy consumption practices. Back then, it was fine. Dale didn't have to worry about it. So, so your guy's going through this, you know.
Dale, I'm so happy you're in on that, because yeah, that was one of the things that I pitched, and Maggie and I got into just like in the brewery, we got into a text conversation today because her beloved Joseph Burrow has had some things detach around what I'm assuming is his great toe. If you don't know, it's not your big toe, people, it's your great toe.
Well, that's the captain.
Old Joey Big Bangs, as I like to call him. He's the only quarterback in the league with bangs. One of the reasons that I don't like him, absolutely. But he came down with a bad case of the turf toe, and we were talking about that in Mag, Josh, and I. And just like while we were all working together, it was just me and Maggie talking and Josh not saying anything. Apparently he was working. But yeah. So Dale, listen, I do think go ahead and jump on. You might have to change the spelling a little bit, but I can pitch you my vision for the Milky Boys Instagram account. And maybe we can workshop that a little bit, because I think it might be worthwhile.
I think it's maybe another, it's on the another show for the Adam Makes Beer Network, the AMBN.
There's K-Bob in the chat. Good to see you in there tonight, brother. I hope you're doing well. So he said
he can't be doing that well if he has to listen to this.
Oh, so Monday Night Football. What is the number one thing that you are looking forward to about going to the game next week?
Trying to figure out how much the Wire shtick I can work in a 24-hour period.
You've been watching it fresh. I haven't.
Yeah.
You've been watching it fresh. And I don't know. I'm one of those people, though, that when I watch a show like that, so like when I go to New Jersey and visit my family out there, like I start picking up the New Jersey East Coast thing relatively easily. I don't feel as if I could start watching The Wire right now because I feel like I would be putting on some sort of bizarre like cop talk kind of thing or even worse.
Even worse is the problem.
Or yeah, I like how your instincts are right on right there.
Even worse is the pocket.
Even worse, I could go another direction.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a concern of mine. So that's a good take. I like it. Working up the are you watching it currently right now?
Yeah, I am just started season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah.
What's well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. It's a great show.
Are they in the schools yet?
No.
Okay. I had to figure out a way to ask.
This is the season just started. It's a lot of like kids so far.
Yeah.
And starting to work on some storyline with at least one, younger kid. So
this podcast is it's a Wire approved, right? We're both on board with approving this show.
This Omar could sponsor this podcast. I'd be fine with that. Stringer Bell. These are all friends of the podcast. Friends of the podcast. Bunk and McNulty. Yeah.
I forgot that his name was Bunk.
If I've even got enough time, I'm gonna go down and vote for Frank Sabatka for for union chair for another year. He just needs one more year to get it done. I think it's fine.
Yeah, if you are into like kind of that episodic, it's actually their movie. It's a movie. You know what I mean? It's an episodic movie, really. But great. It's not one that I think it's not a happy ending kind of thing. Like, you don't feel good watching it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you actually, like when people call something a drama, sometimes I think that language is a little bit heavy, but I think it works for this because they do a good enough job. It's obviously entertaining. The characters are fantastic. It's funny. But I mean, it's gritty, as they say.
This is what my wife doesn't understand about shows. Which I'm cannibalizing my personal podcast called "This Is What My Wife Doesn't Understand."
Check it out everywhere podcasts are available.
Exactly. How something can be funny that isn't overtly funny, like The Sopranos is very funny.
Sure.
Mad Men was very funny. The Wire is very funny.
Yes.
Now, I can't explain why it's funny or what it is about the scenes that are funny, but it is entertaining. I think it is just the countercultural sort of like scenes that were completely appropriate at the time.
Oh, sure.
Like the cops just getting absolutely, smashed and shooting stuff with their walking into bars with guns and just getting drunk, and and it was filmed not as if it were a problem, but it's just whatever,
Sure.
like you wouldn't see that now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my thing with The Wire was, and some of my, I've had a buddy of ours, mutual friend of ours, said that every, people that he knows, like on the legal side, on the police side, the political side, everybody talks about how realistic it is. I remember so you have not watched it all the way through. You're going through it again.
no, this is my first time.
Okay, first time. So there's some stuff that takes place in a high school, and I will say, when I watch that teacher teach, I felt the exact same anxiety and despair that I felt when I was teaching.
And that was worse than when you accidentally shot another cop, right?
No, I did not. I did not accidentally shoot anybody.
You shot him on purpose?
Yeah, I just shot him. I just shot him. But it's unbelievable how good of a job they do at that show. And it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but I think it's really, really good. I think it's really, really good. The Wire podcast approved.
So I'm grateful that we've got, obviously not because of our status as Z-level podcasters, but that we have one of our nicest friends with the biggest heart who's able to put up with us for an extended period of time, has gratefully welcomed us into his home and his seats at the at the game. So
yeah, man, it's gonna be special. It's gonna be special, and like this is only gonna be my second. This is only gonna be my second Lions game.
When was the first? When have you been to a Lions game before?
I went with my dad and Michael when Mike was, I don't know, maybe 10 or something like that. This was when we played Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers, and in part I want to think that maybe Rodgers got injured during the game, but it was a time when we were bad and they were good, and we won, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
So it was Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah.
That's very cool.
It was pretty cool.
My first time seeing the Lions.
Nice. Yeah, Isaac's so excited. He's at the age where his eyes are always really big, but I feel like they're getting even bigger when we talk about this. So I feel very, very grateful to our good buddy out there that's gonna have us out there and get us
not a very exciting Monday night game, is it?
Yeah. Dude, the Ravens, that's wild, man. I don't know, I haven't seen a lot, and maybe it just seems kind of fanboy, but it's going to be very cool to be able to see Lamar. Henry, that guy is in normal person years, he's essentially like a 70-year-old man that's still running over the league. So yeah, there's some big players out there that we'll be able to have some cool memories with, man. I'm excited
too, because while I'm always a Lions fan and the Lions number one, first and foremost, the Ravens have always been my AFC team. If I had to pick a second team, for a brief period of time when I lived out there, we had friends that wanted, it's all about the Redskins, this and that, but I preferred the Ravens. I liked their vibe. I liked what they had going on. Those were some really fun early 2000s, Ravens teams with
the Purple Browns.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ray Lewis, Jamal Lewis, Ed Reed.
I dropped that phrase.
Was that in front of Todd Heap? Oh, go ahead.
Todd Heap. There you go. I dropped that either in front of John or Mike when we were together over Labor Day, and I think it was Johnny, I don't think I caught John's ire, but he definitely let me know that he heard me say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all mellow with time, including John. But yeah, he let me know that he heard those words and that they meant things to him. So you know, we were talking about shows before, and one of the things that I wanted your take on, I heard somebody ask the question, which I thought was interesting, and it spun me in a couple different directions. So, in your mind, what's worse, the movie sequel or the movie remake? Because we are in the era of the remake.
Is there ever been a remake that's good? I can't think of a remake that's been good.
How did you? What about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp?
That's a fun movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know if I saw it.
I've seen it a million times. It's because my kids are of the age that was a
Sure.
big deal. So I've seen it a million times. It's not a great movie, but there's some fun stuff with it.
Do you
But
like it
it's
more
not-
than the original?
Of course not. No, not at
Okay.
all. Nothing can beat the original. I don't know. I can't think of a remake. Sequels can't do it right. It's rare, but there are some sequels that are just as good as the original. I mean, 4 years ago, whatever, 5 years, when did the Top Gun Maverick come out?
I never watched that. Was that good?
That was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Val
And that
Kilmer?
falls. Yes, very
cameo?
very briefly.
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
He didn't talk at all,
Yeah.
but he was in it briefly. That was in an era where sequels and remakes and nostalgia baiting movies kind of set you up to disappoint, like all the Ghostbusters stuff. That actually delivered because it really just kind of focused on what the movie was supposed to be about.
Mhm.
And that's just guys doing crazy stuff in jet fighters.
Sure.
There wasn't really anything awfully, you didn't really need to think very hard in it. And it was just so much more fun without there being too much going on. I don't know. I think that I don't know if directors now think that they have to be overly clever and overly creative in order to, I don't know, try to earn or win something with their movies rather than just like, let's just go tell a crazy story that is just fun.
Are you an animated movie guy?
No.
Okay, so I am still within the window. So when I lived back in Michigan, we were kind of walking distance to our little movie theater. And when the kids were little, we would, I would take them to movies. And that was kind of one of our things. And so I've seen a lot of the kids' movies that come out in theaters. So I've seen a good number of them. Typically, I am known for eating the top layer of popcorn off of the bag that is saturated in butter and then handing the rest of it to my kids.
Yeah.
And then going to sleep. And occasionally snoring and humiliating my children, apparently. But a couple of times I've gone and I've got caught off guard. There was the movie Wild Robot. Are you?
That's not even that old.
That?
That's like a year or two.
Yeah. That was a recent one. I took the kids to that and I watched that and I tried to do my thing where I eat the top layer of popcorn and then I go to sleep, and then I got caught in the story and it made me cry. So there's a few of those. There was one other like that. And I just always love whether it's, and this is probably a dumb way to put it, but I always love when there's an actual story behind it. You know what I mean? Because you actually can, you can actually do, still tell a story, doing that stuff. But if you feel like crying one day, go ahead and watch Wild Robot, because you will.
Fair enough. I'll add it to the list of movies that can make me cry very easily then.
Do you feel as if there's other ones that you're avoiding?
Oh, there's plenty of movies that have made me cry. That's not even the only I've cried in cartoons. It's dumb. I don't like to be emotionally manipulated like that, so I try to stay
Well,
away from it.
it depends because okay, so if it's emotionally manipulated, that means that they're not telling a good story. But if they're telling a good story, and sometimes it's heavy-handed and whatnot, and that's when it doesn't land. But I think if it actually hits, it's probably because there's something that they're doing right, or there's something broken inside me.
Sure.
Those are
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. What remake has there been a remake you've been particularly fond of?
I don't. This doesn't count as remake, but it is something that I'm not a fan of, and I'll say up front that I'm not a Star Wars expert. I'm not one of those people that knows all the things about that. But I don't like when they made the 4, 5, and 6 movies and then told me it was 1, 2, and 3. I didn't enjoy that. That's not what you're asking. But that is one thing because I can't really think of too many remakes, honestly, that I've watched, because I feel like it's gotten harder and harder for me to watch movies. But yeah, that kind of thing with the Star Wars thing, I'm not crazy about.
There are a number of, well, I guess there have been more movies that have been remade than I think we realize. I think that we just kind of, they come and they go. And really, Dune technically was a remake. Dune technically better than. Now I love the original movie.
I never saw Dune. Was it good?
It's all based off a book, but it was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you love the book. If you have to read the book.
I can't hear you. Maybe it's me though.
Hold on just a second. It's probably me. Hold on.
I hear you now.
You got me? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have to read the book? And that might sound like a dumb way of putting it, but can you just watch the movie with as a blank slate and really get the movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, a lot of kids' movies get the remake treatment. Loads of kids' movies. They did all the Disney ones. They made live versions of all those. Yeah. I don't know if any of those were any good. I
haven't seen any of those. I know the kids want to see. My kids actually went to see How to Train Your Dragon, the live action version. K-Bob was giving some love to Dune. I don't know. I don't know with all those. I haven't seen Dune. I probably need to see it. What about Godfather? Let's jump to Godfather, because
this is fairly well tread territory. The sequel is a lot of people say it's better than the first one, and I think
you love it more than the first one.
Yes, because you get the Don Vito origin story. So it's got some really great elements to it, and I think it's paced a little bit better than the original one too. No, that's absolutely fantastic.
So for those of you listening at home, Godfather 1 and 2 are the only, I believe it's the only original and sequel to win Best Picture. And the Godfather movies have kind of a strange tag to them a little bit, because some people are pro movies 1 and 2, but not pro 3.
I love 3 too.
You love 3. I need to go back to 3. You said that. My dad and I. This is one of my fun memories. Was we would. I mean, I had to be old enough. I was probably, maybe even when I was in college, we would do this. But when I would be home for the summers or whatever, sometimes like on a Saturday or something, we wouldn't have anything going on. He wasn't working. I didn't have school, and I wasn't working. And we would rent all 3 VHSs. and then we would get ice cream, frozen pizza, and we would probably start watching The Godfather at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and then we would just watch all three right in a row, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Do you remember not liking 3?
I remember my dad not being as big of a fan of 3, and I can see that, coloring my impression of it. I would like to actually go back to it with fresh eyes, because I have watched both 1 and 2 since multiple times, and we did that a few times. That we're doing the whole trilogy in one day, but yeah, I would like to go back and see 3. Peg and I just watched 1, which was fun, and she was patient with it. But one of my favorite things about that movie is that change in Michael, which starts to happen in the first one, but really the second one, watching him come back from the war, watching him smile like a normal, happy person, and then just seeing how his face changes. Because after spoiler alert, after he kills Salazzo and the Turk, am I correct in who I'm remembering there?
I think
so. He goes to the bathroom, grabs the gun from the toilet tank, comes out, shoots those 2 guys, makes that hit, and then he.
How's the Italian food here?
Yeah. What a great line. I love that so much. And then, so he has to go to Italy. He has Apollonia. He loses Apollonia. And then the only time Michael smiles in that movie, in that entire thing after, at least in 1 and 2, the only time he smiles is when Fredo asks him how to say banana daiquiri. And he says, just say banana daiquiri. And he smiles. It's the only time he smiles. And he's always looking down, and his eye contact is really sketchy. And you would almost read it as you could read it along multiple levels. But I love that change in Michael. Every time I go back and watch it, I feel like I can pull back another layer with things.
Now, I've got one that you've never seen before.
Okay.
There is a movie by the same author, Mario Puzo, called The Sicilian. And it's starring Christopher Lambert.
Really?
And it's late 80s. Now, I'm not sure. I've seen it. I don't necessarily remember it being an awfully good movie, but I did read the book, and the book was good as well.
And that's
so I read The Godfather. Puzo. Yep. I read The Godfather, and I read The Sicilian. Back in college.
I'm going to ask my dad, because I remember my dad said that he got the Godfather book, and he gets these head colds where he can't like lay in bed or anything because he's congested or whatever, and he can't sleep either. So he said he read the Godfather book in one night. He's one of those kind of voracious reader dudes, and he just loved it. He's read it a ton of times. So I'm gonna have to ask him if he read that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep. Yeah, you should check that out. I loved 3. I loved the International Immobiliare stuff with the the Vatican and all of the intrigue there. I thought that was
See, I remember so little of it, because honestly, I think it had to be almost 25 years since I've seen 3. So I'm gonna have to go back through. I do love 2. There's something. This might seem like a strange way to say it, but watching the flashback scenes in Godfather 2, there's something so warm and nostalgic about it. And obviously you can talk about physically what's happening on screen, with the lighting and whatnot. But there is, I love the simplicity of the scenes, obviously, because it's where they're living. But yeah, I love watching the Don become the Don.
Favorite
Yeah.
Godfather scene, period. If you had to pick one scene that's like you always kind of go back to as like one of your all-time favorites from any of the movies.
Oh, I know. There's so many. I love, one of my favorite things is when he's dating, quote unquote, dating Apollonia, and you see the two of them. It's kind of like the montage portion of their courtship, and you know the theme song's playing, and you see the two of them walking. And it's this beautiful countryside, and they get further and further away, and then like it seems like every woman in the village is walking behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like I love the chaperone date by every
Yeah,
old lady.
that's a great scene.
And I love that. I loved it's interesting talking about it out loud, because some of the stuff that I really love is Michael before he's the Don. You know what I mean? Like I loved seeing Apollonia smile at him smile at her, and them dancing.
Mm-hmm.
They did such a beautiful job of capturing something, you know, lovely between people. But that the funny thing is that there's obviously so many other things. What about you?
It's the scene where Sonny beats the hell out of Carlo in front of the building with the trash cans. So maybe there's a little bit of a difference in how we're wired here, you know.
I mean, there's some great scenes. I mean, you can obviously say, you know, leave the gun, get the cannoli. There's that. I always loved
Johnny Ola told me about this place.
I love the little slice of life Italian stuff too. Like the small things that you know, I think it's kind of one of those things that can get all kind of lumped together, because so much of the Italian culture, movies, shows, whatever, are they're mobster stuff or whatever. But I think you can actually, like, there's stuff that's very familiar to me in that is not mafia related, but it's familiar relationship, it's relationships between men and women, like love of the firstborn son. You know what I mean? Like all these things. And yeah, so for me, sometimes it's some of that stuff. I love the big parties.
Well, there's
I love the food. I love the big dinners.
Right? There's a recognition, and regardless of kind of the underpinnings, typically the people who are making those scenes are trying to make them feel somewhat authentic. And so even if there is not a firsthand experience with some of those things, there is relationship things. There are, you know, I always laugh about whenever I watch The Sopranos, and there's something that pops out there. It's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Just a turn of a phrase, or the way that people are communicating with each other, or, you know, it's always so funny. You know, there's a scene in The Sopranos. It's one of my all-time favorite scenes, and that doesn't really get me. It's not like one of the ones I think people quote or whatever. But they're going in to beat a guy up, you know, and Silvio is standing there at the top of the stairs, and Tony gets there, you know, begrudgingly, and they're getting ready to head into where they've been torturing a guy, and Silvio turns to him and says, "You want something to munch on?" You know, like it's so funny, but it's just like it just made so much sense, you know.
Yeah. So one of my thoughts with Sopranos is, because Sopranos is one of the things that I think I watched it once through. I think I've only done that series once. It was, but I'm getting, the algorithm is feeding me short clips right now from Sopranos. Do you feel as if, so if I were to put up a scale of things that are like authentically Italian, um, starting from Godfather to Jersey Shore. Okay, I'm going to say those are the two extremes. Okay, Godfather to Jersey Shore.
I mean, how authentic is Godfather, though? I mean, yeah, Jersey Shore. I mean,
do you find Godfather to be more authentic than Sopranos? Because that's what I was going to try to say to you.
No, because David Chase put a lot of effort into building this world in this series, while Coppola had two big movies and a bunch of stuff he had to cram in there. So I think you got some big highlights, but you didn't get a granular detail like what David Chase did with The Sopranos. Like,
so would you put is Sopranos over Godfather for you?
100%. Sopranos is my comfort show. I've been through it 6 times. It's one that I can put on any season, any episode, and I just feel fine. Just feel good watching it.
I think I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I loved them all. To me, there's sometimes where I feel like, and maybe I'm off base. There's sometimes that I think like, to me, I would put Sopranos on the authentic side, but closer to The Godfather than I would Jersey Shore, because I think Jersey Shore is a parody.
Jersey Shore, I wouldn't even put it on there. Like, it's not even.
Yeah, but that's where. But that's.
I feel
that's
like
stuck though, because people think that's Italian.
Yeah, I get. Do they? I guess.
Yes, they did.
I would put Goodfellas over on that side, because I don't feel like there's really anything good. Like, they think Goodfellas. They think Casino's Italian too. Like, sure, all of these Scorsese movies, they're, and we didn't even really talk about the Scorsese movies. Like, they're fine, but I don't feel like they're really trying to represent anything other than it's.
Are you a Pesci fan in those movies?
Always.
Okay.
Always. He's my number one in any movie he's in. If you put De Niro and Pesci in there, I'm a Pesci guy.
Did you watch The Irishman?
I watched The Irishman.
What?
I struggled to
Bro,
suspend my disbelief.
Was it close to like 4 hours?
It was very long. I struggled to suspend my disbelief. I got bored in it, But Pesci was fantastic in it. I feel a little worn out with De Niro at this point, but
yeah. I need to go back. A movie that I want to go back and watch, but I'm worried that I won't. And it's all within the genre, but I'm going to go back and watch Bronx Tale. I haven't watched Bronx Tale in forever, but I'm worried that I'm not going to like it as much as I did when we were
you're going to love it. Bronx Tale rules. Bronx Tale is up there for me. I love that movie so much. That's closer to me on how I feel about Sopranos, because there's so much of the it's a lot of shtick, right? It's a lot of it's kind of corny, and they really overdo the stereotypes sometimes. But that's one of those fun in the pocket movies. Thank you for reminding me about that. I gotta make my son watch that one, because we've been kind of going through a lot of these movies too.
Well, and they have they have one of those classic things in there too. Like, sometimes I feel like I could just go back and watch the montages that happen in those films, and they make me so happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the narrated part where somebody's telling you who everybody is on the block or whatever.
It is the best trope, and it's going through everybody's nickname, why they're doing it, what their little quirks are. It is such a overplayed thing, but it's fantastic. I think they did it in Goodfellas too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was Ray Liotta doing all the narration. That's great. I love it. Do it in everything. I don't care.
Do you consider yourself, especially when it comes to this kind of genre of movies, do you find yourself, do you think that you are like a fussy consumer, of these things, or a picky consumer of these things, or you just kind of in general love the genre?
Not I can always find something to love about it.
Sure.
You know, I'm not overly picky. I don't get every once in a while I'll get really annoyed with something, but chances are it's not going to be with like a schlocky mafia movie.
Sure.
There's something I'm gonna be into with it.
Sure.
Even if it's super stupid. Yeah, no, it there's so many great archetypes and tropes and stories that they've told over and over, because they're all just kind of, back to the remakes and sequels thing. It's a lot of remakes over and over again, with the stories. Now, thing is, there are a lot of really interesting stories out there that exist that they're not telling. They're like, you get into stuff with like Lucky Luciano and some of like the early mafioso here in the US. There's some really interesting stuff that I don't think anybody's really tried to take a Peaky Blinder stab at, which I think would be really cool. And if you ever did you watch Peaky Blinders?
No, I didn't, and I want to. I do struggle. Like, I feel like this particular stage where I have like older kids and younger kids, it's hard.
Oh, you can't watch anything good.
Well, and there's almost no privacy in our house. So like, even
Right.
to like all the rooms that have TVs in them are very public. And it's close to the little kids' room, and it just makes it hard. And then, quite frankly, by the time we have time to like watch something, we're usually rewatching something that's just fun and easy. You know what I mean?
Change your clothes in front of the webcam.
So I want to, and maybe this isn't for you, but I read this book and I really, really enjoyed it. And there's a book called Story by Robert McKee, McKee. And I loved reading it. Now, so McKee does, he has a book called, Story. I loved it. I read that book years ago. My buddy Dave, he suggested it to me. And I sat down and I read it. And I honestly, I don't even remember if I read the whole thing. I do know I got to one part and he explained to me why I got bored or lost interest in every movie that I got bored or lost interest in. And it was awesome. And then on the flip side, it explained to me why I loved The Godfather, why I loved Breaking Bad, what, like all these different things, like, and it's good. It's worth checking out.
Yeah.
And even just the highlights on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really changed the way that I watch stuff. And in some ways, I don't think it's made me fussier, but it has made me aware of when I'm starting to get bored, it's because they're screwing up more often than not. You know what I mean? There's a story flaw. There's a pace flaw. There's something unbelievable happening. But yeah, I think you might enjoy that.
Yeah. So at least with this, do you find yourself nitpicking? And have you actually watched the Jersey Shore? I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
Oh, dude, the Jersey Shore was a guilty pleasure of mine for some times. There was times where, whether I would travel for work or whatever, I've always had a hard time going to sleep away from home alone in a hotel room. So it's one of those things where...
And you feel better if the situation is there?
Okay, so it's like visual junk food, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing with like classic cable, okay? Mm-hmm. And so you're just flipping through the channels or whatever, and then it'll just be like a Jersey Shore marathon. And when I was first getting into brewing, I was going down to Ann Arbor to work with now a dear friend of mine, Bill. And but I would stay at this hotel, And, I would get back there at like 6 in the afternoon, and there would be this Jersey Shore marathon. And then so I would have dinner, and then like I'm just flipping through things. There's nothing really on, and then it's Jersey Shore, and it's something that you had like heard about, and so I got sucked into it. And next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m, and you're just laying there. I don't know. I don't think I've seen everything, but I'm pretty familiar.
Mhm.
I'm pretty familiar with it.
So for you, gym, tan, and laundry are still pretty important, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's basically all I do now. I
Yeah.
literally, well, no, actually, hey, we got some love for, is this some Jersey Shore love, Mike? Good to see you in the chat, brother. Yeah, I mean, I don't go to the gym, but I do love to lay in the sun because it makes me feel nicer. And I do laundry these days.
Yeah.
So I've got 2/3 of it. I could be. Because there was a situation. There was Ronnie, and
Paulie,
then
right? Paulie D.
Paulie
There's
D.
Cookie. There's Jay. Wow, I've never seen an episode. I know everything about it.
There wasn't there a cousin Angela too that was on the show? Some.
Well, we all have 100 cousin Angelas, so
Angelina or something like that. But yeah, no, I've seen a fair amount of that. I mean, it's just car wreck spectacle. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just car wreck spectacle. So yeah, I mean but like I do think that people thought that was like, something that was Italian at the time, which I always made me cringe.
Yeah.
Which always made me cringe.
Yeah. That's funny. Maybe. Were they even all Italian? Some of them were Italian.
I think so. I think they were supposed to be.
Right.
Well, because they were big on the monkey or Guido.
Guidos, that's right.
That was
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, let me think. I think that might be it, brother. You feel like wrapping up?
Yeah, that's fine. This game has been 14-10 for 7 hours. It is the most boring game the most boring game was, what was that one yesterday? I don't know if anybody even scored a touchdown.
Oh, was it the Minnesota game?
The Minnesota game.
Where they kicked 5 field goals and won? Or did they lose? No, I think they won.
I had too many players in that game. That was, yeah.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was ugly. Hey, Bobby, I will not be at Cincinnati Oktoberfest. If you're going, I hope you enjoy, man. But yeah, I think that's it. Stay tuned this coming week. Hey, we have some potentially exciting things right now. We are in negotiations with someone out of Germany, to maybe do some production work for us. Because at this point, the workload for Stu and I is just kind of getting out of hand.
It is kind of getting untenable right now. Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, everybody saw the whole problem with the backgrounds that we were dealing with earlier. That was kind of an insurmountable challenge.
We will be excited next time we're live. Decent likelihood that we'll be welcoming producer Jared to the show. Jared's going to be our behind the scenes guy. When we have, and Stu and I are just chopping it up, and we need some pictures, we need some references.
Yeah.
Jared's going to be our eyes, ears, and heart in the background.
Yeah, I'm not sure heart yet. Let's put that one on the shelf. He does need to know how to respectfully work with the talent, though. And establishing a strong set of boundaries is the best way to start out any a professional relationship.
Sure.
So we'll have to kind of, we're going to have to do a little bit of testing that. Stress testing is the word that I would like to use.
Stress testing works. Testing works. So yeah, next time we're probably going to have a producer. Who knows when we're going to be on next time?
Producing what?
Bro, listen, it's happening. Okay, it's happening. I am going to be live, non small town guys on Wednesday with John Blevins, Twitch streamer dude that I met recently. That should be a fun interview. So make sure to check that out. I'll be live Monday. Producer Jer will not be a part of that show. But
not if I have anything to say about it.
But anyways, thanks everybody for sticking around. We appreciate you sharing, liking, and all that good stuff out there. And then until next time, we'll see you later.
Later.
This feeling's deeper than an ocean, with a groove that's beating harder than my heart. So baby, now just hear me out. No, don't fear this emotion, 'cause you can't stop the fire once it starts. Oh, I'll be there for you, with the love to get you through the night. Yeah, yeah. And I'll be there for you when the